Young Master Tong was injured, and our Li and Sun families will definitely compensate. At this moment, Wu Chen raised his hand to interrupt. Wait a minute, Mr. Sun, let's talk first. Sun Yongzhang hesitated. About this, Tong Jingbin chuckled and said, It's okay. You guys from the Li family, just talk freely. Sun Yongzhang nodded. I was just about to finish talking with Tong Jingbin and then talk to you. I didn't expect you to bring it up first. I guess Tong Jingbin must have become suspicious. He was a thoughtful person. Wu Chen said calmly, I did it on purpose to let him see and make him think. Mr. Sun, just talk to him, but don't mention the result. Okay, I'll listen to you. Let's go outside. Do we need to pretend to have a big fight? No need. Actually, we're not afraid of Tong Jingbin overthinking. We're afraid he won't think at all. Also, Tong Jingbin is a cunning old fox, and Ding Rulong will be here soon. We can't let him see that the Li family and the Ding family are at odds. It would be disadvantageous for the Li family if word got out. Wu Chen said coldly, we need to pull the Tong family onto the same boat. Let the Tong family and the Li family cooperate, and make the Ding family the enemy of the Tong family. With enough benefits in front of them, the Tong family won't leak the information. Sun Yongzhang said worriedly, the Tong family and the Li family rarely interact. There's no basic trust, which means there's no foundation for cooperation. This is basically impossible. Wu Chen immediately affirmed, I will make the impossible possible. Hearing this from Wu Chen, Sun Yongzhang broke out in a cold sweat. What are you going to do? Wu Chen said to Sun Yongzhang, Mr. Sun, the specific situation can't be explained clearly in a few words. We'll talk later, or I'll explain it in detail to Tong Jingbin, and you can be present to listen. Especially when Ding Rulong arrives, Mr. Sun, you must stand up and support me, remember that. I understand, Wu Chen, but you also have to remember, don't mess things up, otherwise all our plans will be ruined. Wu Chen smiled faintly and replied, I know, I definitely won't mess things up. Let's go. Sun Yongzhang and Wu Chen returned. Sun Yongzhang laughed. Mr. Tong, I apologize for keeping you waiting. Tong Jingbin also pretended to smile. Mr. Sun, you look radiant. You must have encountered something joyful. Li Rubing, filled with curiosity, pulled Wu Chen aside and asked, What were you talking about just now? Wu Chen pulled Li Rubing into his arms and said, Guess. Li Rubing tugged at Wu Chen's shirt. Oh my god, is this a joke? Is it fun? Wu Chen quickly replied, Miss Li, do you not care about your image anymore? People are watching. Tong Jingbin glanced at Li Rubing and thought to himself, Miss Li, the woman rumored to be extremely strong, dared to confront young Master Ding Rulong. Even though she knows her boyfriend, Wu Chen, is keeping a mistress, she's still infatuated with him. Suddenly, Wu Chen called out, Mr. Gu. Gu Ruibo pointed at himself in surprise. Me? Are you calling me? Wu Chen whispered something to him, and Gu Ruibo exclaimed, Oh! Tong Jingbin saw this scene and thought to himself, the third-generation heir of the Gu family in Shanghai also supports Wu Chen. Mr. Wu, if there's anything I can do to help with Tong Xinbao's matter, just say it. Li Rutoi and I are brothers, not outsiders. Wu Chen turned and said, You've already helped. Gu Ruibo was shocked. I haven't done anything yet. What are you referring to, Mr. Wu? It's hard to explain. Your attitude towards me is already a form of help. Not only Gu Ruibo, but also Sun Yongzhang and Li Rubing. Everyone's treatment of Wu Chen allowed him to leverage their power. This would enhance Tong Jingbin's judgment and ultimately lead him to a conclusion that he wouldn't dare to believe. Brother-in-law, Ding Rulong has arrived downstairs. Mr. Wu, do you want me to? Gu Ruibo was still speaking when Wu Chen smiled slyly and said, Just in time. Everyone, stay calm. Mr. Gu, just act natural. Li Rutoi, let's proceed according to plan. Suddenly, a man downstairs blocked Ding Rulong's path with a glass bottle. Mr. Ding, please stop. Ding Rulong and his men were still arrogant. You dare to block my way? The man holding the glass bottle said, This is the boss's order. Please excuse me, Mr. Ding and your bodyguards. Please hand over all your weapons. The man collected Ding Rulong's guns and then bowed his head and gestured, Mr. Ding, please come in. Ding Rulong snorted coldly and then instructed his bodyguards, "Wait for me here." The bodyguards obediently replied, "Yes, boss." Ding Rulong swaggered into the room and shouted, "Rubing." Before he could finish saying, he was stunned by what he saw. Everyone was already waiting in the room. Sun Yongzhang immediately stood up and said, "Rulong, you're here. Come, sit down. Hello, Uncle Sun, Second Master Tong is here too. When did you arrive in Donghai? Just today. Young Master Ding just arrived too. It's fate that we meet here." Sun Yongzhang continued to introduce, "Rulong, this is Mr. Gu. Do you two know each other?" Ding Rulong shook hands, "More than just acquaintances. Mr. Gu, why are you in Donghai too?" "Mr. Ding, I was just about to ask you the same thing. What are you doing in Donghai?" While they were exchanging pleasantries, Li Rubing held Wu Chen's hand and asked, "Hey, when did you buy this watch?" "I didn't buy it. Where's the one me bought for you?" "That one doesn't match today's outfit," Li Rubing smiled. All right. If you say it doesn't match, then it doesn't match. After we eat, can we go to the mall and buy another one that matches better?" Wu Chen started to act coquettishly. "It depends on my mood after eating." Ding Rulong was disgusted by this scene. Sun Yongzhang said, Rulong is here. Why aren't you greeting him?" Ding Rulong extended his hand. "Rubing, long time no see." At this moment, Li Rubing was busy caressing Wu Chen's hand and ignored Ding Rulong. Ding Rulong lowered his head, feeling embarrassed and ashamed. At this moment, Wu Chen added a few more words. "What are you doing in Donghai? Don't you feel uncomfortable?" Seeing this scene, Sun Yongzhang and Tong Jingbin broke out in a cold sweat. "This Wu Chen is deliberately provoking Ding Rulong in front of us." Wu Chen continued to provoke him. "I really don't understand you. You deliberately came to Donghai to see Rubing and me being affectionate. Are you a masochist?" Li Rubing added a few sweet words. "Honey, don't bother with him, it's tiring." Wu Chen chuckled and said, "But he came all the way here. It would be impolite not to tease him a little." At this moment, Sun Yongzhang slammed the table and shouted, "Hey, Wu Chen, don't go too far." Li Rubing was not to be outdone. "Third uncle, do you have a problem with Wu Chen? Then we'll leave now. Are you going to lose your temper?" "We don't want to stay here either." Sun Yongzhang pointed at them angrily. You want to make me die of anger." Li Rutai stepped forward to mediate. "Sister, third uncle, everyone calm down. We have guests." Li Rubing was still angry with Sun Yongzhang. "Third uncle, do you remember what I said before we came here? If you don't want us to stay, we'll leave now. Don't argue with Wu Chen anymore." Sun Yongzhang shouted angrily, "Li Rubing, how can you talk to your elders like that?" "I'm your third uncle," Li Rubing retorted. "Third uncle or not, you're still my uncle. Do you think being an uncle gives you the right to be unfair?" Sun Yongzhang was so angry that he couldn't speak. Tong Jingbin frowned in confusion. What is Wu Chen planning? Ding Rulong finally spoke up. "Uncle Sun, Rubing, stop arguing. We're all family. Don't be divided because of outsiders." "Uncle Sun, I'm fine. Please sit down. Rulong is so magnanimous. Come, Rulong, sit down." Li Rubing turned to Wu Chen with a slightly annoyed expression. "Why do you have to pay attention to him?" Wu Chen continued to tease, "Because it's fun." At this moment, Gu Ribo continued, "Mr. Wu seems to be quite talented. It's no wonder Miss Li is so infatuated with him." Li Rutai added, "Mr. Gu, don't judge my brother-in-law by his youthful appearance. He's full of capabilities." At this moment, Tong Xinba finally felt that something was wrong. He thought to himself, "I think I've seen through everyone. They're all here, and they're all acting. They're all cooperating with Wu Chen. They're plotting to deceive Ding Rulong. What are they planning to do? This is too strange. I've lived for decades, but I've never seen anything like this." Despite what anyone said or thought, Wu Chen calmly addressed Tong Jingbin. "Mr. Tong, let's discuss Liu Outai's matter." Sun Yongzhang chimed in, "There's no rush. Mr. Tong, you're not in a hurry to return to Shanghai, are you?" "Indeed, I'm not in a hurry." Tong Jingbin thought to himself. The topic suddenly shifted to me. "Am I also part of their script?" Ding Rulong asked. "Uncle Sun, what's going on with Li Rutai? Sun Yongzhang briefly explained Tong Xinbao's situation.